Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. This podcast is part of the Never a Face Network. Make sure to follow them on Instagram or go to the website neverafacenetwork.com. On this episode, we have on musician Jeff Klemm, who you may know from his kids' music as Mr. Jeff or his other bands Diamon Kites or Maid Myriad. We talk about guitar gear, songwriting, life with 3 kids, going from touring musician in his 20s to having kids, to changing careers to pre-K teacher, to writing songs for pre-K kids, and then becoming full-time kids musician. A lot of this discussion is talking about creative energy and realizing the depth that can exist in kids music and the difference between playing for adults and kids. Make sure to check out jeffklemm.com to find his music and tour dates and new music, and you can find that link also in the show notes. Just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, Jeff, welcome to an episode of The Imperfect Dads. Thanks for being on.
Thanks so much for having me, Devin. It's so good to be here.
Okay, so back to talking music. So whenever I was in college, since I went to Belmont school in Nashville and everything, I assumed if I didn't have a Taylor, a Martin, something like that for acoustics, then what am I doing trying to write a song? Then I saw David Bazan, Pedro Lion, play a set, and he's playing Epiphone SGs, not these fancy, really classy guitars, maybe $300-$400 guitars. And that's whenever I realized, if you have a song and you have the motivation, you don't need a $2,000 guitar. And honestly, I'd be terrified to play a $2,000 guitar. So I don't, but I think it's easy to when you get into you're oh, why can't I be creative? Why can't I focus on anything? It's well, it's because you haven't invested enough. You haven't bought the guitar. You haven't bought the piano. And it's no, you just haven't created the rhythm and the habit. So just do that first.
No, I'm 100% with you. I come from punk rock, so it's always buy something that works well and isn't the worst, but is certainly not the best. Get what you can get and then put in your hours to make it sound good. And, I bought some really nice things too, but generally, I think my rule of thumb is to stick to that. I can get this mid-level thing and really, really dial it in and find where I want it to sound good. Mm-hmm. And that will be that's just how I always am. And especially being a teacher, when I'm talking to parents and they're all right, we want to buy our kid a guitar. And I'm just here's the top tier. You don't need the top tier. Mm-hmm. Get middle or lower down and just have them put their hours in on these instruments before you go and splurge on the big thing.
Yeah. Yep. So besides wanting a Martin guitar for the longest time, I always wanted and got it post-college. I love semi-hollow body Telecasters, and Fender amps with a really clean reverb is my go-to guitar tone. What's your go-to guitar tone? We're going to start before parenting. We're just going to talk guitar shop for a bit.
I love it. And honestly, I don't get to play electric guitar out live that much anymore. Yeah. So this is really exciting because it was such a huge part of my musical vocabulary was guitar gear. So my go-to is a Vox AC30 or Vox AC15. I love them. I have 2, an AC30 and an AC15 for no reason.
Why not? You need it. You never know.
Well, the old one I took on tour for 5-10 years. So it is just torn to shreds. And the AC15, I was it'll be easier to carry and it looks nicer. But then I'm also a huge fan of Fender, either Tellys or Strats, but with double humbuckers. So I'm not a single coil fan. I like the double humbuckers because it sounds like a Gibson, but plays like a Fender. That's kind of my special guitar sound.
Yeah. I keep on having, since I lived in Nashville and have all these music friends, I have a couple people who have Sadler Vaden from Jason Isbell's band just did a Gibson SG of his. And I'm Sadler, you can gift me one, right? We don't have that type of friendship, but one day I'm going to create a musician friendship where they'll just gift me guitars and I'll share the love if I can.
I love that. Yes. Just pass them on down.
Yeah, of course. It's how it's supposed to work out. So how long have you played music for? Is music your main gig? Or are you a teacher and then do music whenever it makes sense to?
Yeah, so music is my first love. I started playing when I was 14. I saved up. I worked all summer to save up and buy that bass right there. It's full of
Yeah.
stickers now, but it was obviously not full of stickers when I got it. And I put in probably around my 10,000 hours on the bass
Mm-hmm.
before I moved on over to guitar because it was easier to write songs. I played bass in a band. Like basically in high school, we come from a high school where we didn't have much to do. And there was like, you know how it is with the sports, but like our sport was making bands. So we actually had a lot of bands in our high school. So that was kind of our sport, was
Okay.
the band. It really, really taught me work ethic, like being in the room every Thursday from X to X and gigging on the weekends. So we were like, we started playing our instruments. We wrote a couple songs, we got a couple covers, and we just started gigging right away. So it really was a crash course. And then,
Where'd you grow up before you answer the second half of the question? What area of the country did you grow up in?
Northeast Ohio. So I grew up in Ohio, Stowe,
Nice.
Ohio, and it was only like a 10-minute drive to Akron, where we started playing gigs, and like 40 minutes to Cleveland. So there were obviously no venues in our small town, but we would go to Akron and Cleveland and gig all the time, playing with we just opened up for all sorts of crazy bands in high school.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was really fun.
That's awesome. That's cool. But anyway, day
And
job.
then-
Sorry, interrupted you. Ask where you're from. But yeah.
Day job now or day job then? What
Day
do you
job
mean
now. Let's do day job now.
Yeah, so my day job now is children's music.
Awesome.
It's so much fun. I love it. And then my night job is I sing in a wedding band. So it's like I'm full-time in music, and they're like all different sides of the creative coin, but also playing for drunk adults, playing for toddlers. There's parts of it that are the same job, honestly.
Yep.
They're not totally the same, but there's parts of it that are very similar. So
That's
it's fun.
That's accurate.
great.
That is very accurate.
Yeah, so I mean, I love getting to play music for kids. It was not something that I like really saw myself doing up until it actually happened, but it really is the most fun I've had playing music since high school, really.
Yeah, that's for all the musicians who do kids music that I've interviewed. That seems to be the consistent thing, is like that no one like set out to be like, you know what, I'm going to be a children's musician. There's like, I'm writing these songs. I'm a preschool teacher. I'm such and such. And so this is what my world is. And then they kept having their friends be like, you could probably do this as a career, man. Like, this is good stuff. So it's interesting to see how people end up in performing children's music.
Yeah, and for me, it was like my son was born
Mhm.
and we were listening to kids' music, and I had only been listening to the mainstream stuff, and I wasn't digging it. It wasn't until I dug deeper and then I found the good stuff. And I think you could say that about a lot of mainstream styles of music, but I definitely had to dig deeper, and I'm like, all right, here's the good stuff. But
Yeah.
I just, as a songwriter, I felt like I could add something special and unique to this space. And when my son was born, we were listening to music, and I needed a career change. So I became a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
This is the fast version. I
Yeah.
became a preschool teacher, and then I am a musician in a preschool classroom. Just makes sense to start playing for the kids. So started small, and then just more and more kids came in, more and more. And then I'm just all of a sudden playing for the whole school, like every week. And parents are like, when's your next gig? And I'm like, this doesn't leave this school. Like, I only do this here because outside I'm like a real musician. Like I'm like a grown-up musician outside of this school. And they're like, nah, you should do shows like this. This is good. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's so I feel like no matter what career path you have, whenever you realize like what someone's willing to pay you to do, you're like, oh, you would give me money to do this? Huh. Let me rethink my relationship with this. Because before I thought it had to be like oh, now I have to rethink how I feel about this. Because like I always feel like whenever I work jobs, like I'm phenomenal at really boring stuff like data entry, keeping stuff accurate, spreadsheets and stuff like that. I don't want to be paid well to do that because it's really very boring and numbing to me. But people were willing to pay me to do that. So I'm like, I like eating and living somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to figure, okay, I guess I'll do this for a bit.
That's the job.
That's the job. Turns out people like eating and sleeping in the same place consistently. I don't know. It's a weird concept.
It's good to do that. And honestly, for somebody who did not have that for many years, like it is, I recognize the, like, how amazing it is to have that, because I was on tour, but my indie rock band was on tour like a third of the year for like, I don't know, a couple years, 3-4 years straight, something like that. So we were on the road so much, and then we were recording and things, that it was like, I didn't even have an apartment. I like sold all my material possessions, lived in the van, lived in my studio, and then was just doing that. So when I finally like settled down, it's like, this is nice. It's nice to have like a little mess over here, and I got to clean it up, and I'm upset about it. But like, it's great to have that.
Yeah. Yep. Now I feel like I've got tons of friends who like in their 20s tried the gigging, tried everything. And then, as they got closer to 30, we're like, this isn't sustainable. Or like, I've talked to some musicians who are like, after the band, after 7 years of doing it, didn't take off the way we thought we would. We all took a break and started families. And I'm like, if I worked the same job for 7 years and didn't see growth opportunities, I'd probably be like, I should rethink what the heck I'm doing here. But like for music and creative stuff, it always has a different tone of like, but what about your passion? And it's like, I just lived on my passion for like 7 years, and like, I need to be able to eat more. So gonna switch it up.
Right. Especially when you start having kids, then it's like, it's not just about you. So you gotta make it not about you.
Correct. Well, I mean, like if you're married and you're on the road, that's one relationship to negotiate and figure out. And like, flying your wife out to a show or something like that you can figure that out. Once you start having kids, that's a different thing. And like it would feel like creating more damage than fun, happy memories. So yeah.
The cool thing about doing kids music is the kids love coming, because it's so fun for them being that dad's up there, but also they get to hang out with all these other kids that love it so much.
Yeah.
So they're like, they walk in, and because they're a part of my project, they are the rock stars too. Everyone's just like, you're this one, you're that kid, you're, oh my goodness. They're just like, they get to feel like rock stars too, which might be the secret sauce if you're listening.
For like your day-to-day life, do you mostly play around like your town where you live in, or do you travel and like do gigs out of state that much?
Mostly within like a 5-hour bubble from where I live, but I do travel frequently for this. So like Chicago, Kansas, LA, New York, Jersey. Yeah, I mean, it's really fun, but I'm able to stay relatively close to home doing this, which is good.
Yeah, that is. And I haven't even asked yet, how many kids, ages, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Devin, I have 3 kids. You have 3 kids too, right?
I have 3. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I have 3. My first, Silas, the boy, he is about to be 10. And my middle girl, Junie, she is about to be 5. We're born on the same day, 5 years apart. So we're celebrating the big 10 and the big 5 in a month from today. So it's super soon. And then my youngest, Jonah, boy, he is 2.
Okay.
Like freshly 2. So I'm almost 10, almost 5, and 2. That's where we live. What about you?
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter, and 4.5-year-old son. So we've been out of diapers for, I think, a year now. And I am not going to lie.
Congrats.
It is nice. It is nice to, there's still some bum wiping that needs to happen from time to time just to make sure everything's clean. I'm not going to act like that doesn't happen. But to not have like the kid wakes up and the diaper's just like basically on the ground because it's so full of pee and God knows what. I don't do that anymore. And I am appreciative of that chapter being closed.
I'm so happy for you. Feel like my 2-year-old is like today, he's like, go potty. And he started pulling down his pants. I'm like, this is great. Let's go. Come on. Let's do this. Cause like we've tried introducing it to him and we've got a bunch of cool books over there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the other ones just like, we're like, okay, I'm going to go potty now. And we're like, okay, let's help you with this. But he's just kind of like, he's just cool, chill with with us doing his diapers. So today when he was like, and he's very independent with almost everything else. So
Okay.
I think it probably just hasn't like totally crossed his mind that he can
Yeah.
do this now. So today he was like, I'll go potty, and just started pulling his pants. I'm like, great, we're going to do this in here now and right here. That's where you do this, and let's keep it going. So maybe we're on the way to diaper free, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet.
We always treated it like daytime and nighttime were very different. So like if we didn't have accidents during the day, that's great. And we'd put like the overnight diaper on them for whenever they go to bed. Cause like already, man, we tried to do with one of our kids where like we'd wake them up at like 11. So then make them go pee. But like the whole process of getting your kid to finally fall asleep is so much some days. Last night, I'm not waking that kid up at 2 a.m. I'm not risking them waking back up and being ready to play. I need them to sleep so I can get a break and get my own sleep.
100%. Yeah. Overnight diaper, even though you're diaper free, put that overnight diaper on until
That's
they're
fine.
like actually
That's
ready.
fine.
I'm so with you. So with you on that.
And I think it's fine. And like, it's just because like, I think a lot of parenting is realizing what moments are going to make you annoyed and mad and avoiding them if you can. So like if I have to wash the bed sheets 3 days in a row because my kid genuinely isn't big enough to like have a bladder big enough to sleep through the night, just put the overnight diaper on. I'm like, stop making yourself mad every morning because your kid is where they are. Stop it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good advice to live by. If avoiding things that are going to make you mad, if you can,
Yep.
like I think that's great. That's definitely something to do to relieve the stress. Avoid it.
Well, I mean, like, and I'm not trying to influence or promote avoidant behavior, but to know yourself and to know, like, this is going to piss me off if I do this or if I end up here. So, hey, how do I avoid that version of myself is more, if I want to try to frame it where I'm not just conflict avoidant. And
Right. But it's not conflict avoidant. You're also meeting them where they are and not where you want them to be. So it is psychologically great on both ends of those spectrums. So.
Thank you.
Whether it's
Thank you.
self-serving or you're standing up for the kid and where they are, that's TBA.
I'll find out in about 20 years is what I think.
Yeah.
Is that about the timeline? Yeah.
Dad, you blah, blah, blah.
You,
what?
But you never let me try this. And it's like, because I was a jerk whenever you did that. And I don't want to be a jerk to you. So
I was trying to help you.
I was trying to make fun memories. I was wrong, apparently. So for making kids music, what's your I know if you're a indie rock musician of sorts, normally you release an album every 2 to 3 years, something like that. Is it a similar cycle of create, tour, press, all that stuff? Or is it different? Because I feel like kids music is a whole different creature that you deal with.
Yeah. So I don't know what the exact right answer is, but I know what I've been doing. And what I've been doing is probably not sustainable, but it's just kind of pouring out of me. And I feel like I'm in a flow. So I'm going to ride it. I did 2 albums in 2024, an album in 2025, and then I've got another one that I'm wrapping up right now. So it's an album a year, essentially. The second one that I released is a solo. It's like a lullaby solo piano version of the first one. So I think it counts, but also it's if we're looking at batches of songs, it's I did a batch of songs in 24, a batch of songs in 25, and a batch of songs in 26. And then as far as press, tour, it's pretty much the same. You build up to the release, you go out and you tour, you play the songs. The cool thing about kids music is that it's evergreen because the audience turns over every 5 years. So then you got a new group of kids and you can play those same songs and it's brand new to these kids and these parents. So when I'm writing, I'm trying to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Can I play this 15 years from now and be happy with what it is? Because I've seen kids musicians that have been in the game 30 years and they're still going back to their hit from 1986. And it just is a banger, today. So I always keep that in mind. So it's very similar. There's a video element to kids music that like is sort of like indie rock music. Like you got to have the music video, but it's really not a music video. You just have to have some type of video for the kid to see and enjoy, which is a constant internal struggle as someone who like is iffy about screen time, or at least is trying to make things that are good screen time and not brain rot. Like you really got to focus on not making brain rot, because I mean, you could get millions and millions of plays with brain rot, like because so many people do,
can.
but then you like lose. It's just not who I want to be. I don't want to be brain rot or AI kids music. Like I want to be all human, good stuff that I know that parents are like, this is cool. This is informative. This is educational and silly. And it doesn't suck. Like,
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Yes. Well, I mean, because I think every parent now has their own relationship with YouTube for their kids, where like you try it a couple of times to be like, oh, let's do YouTube. But then you're like, I think that was an all AI video. What is this? And then as you're watching, your kid is like, I love this. And you're like, no, actually, I don't think we should watch this anymore because it's kind of garbage. And I think it's destroying your mind with dopamine hits that you aren't ready for. So yeah, if you are creating stuff for the kids space, you're like, okay, how do I make this? I know kids' attention spans are not what they used to be, so I have to make it somewhat quick pace and make it entertaining, but also not so entertaining. Ugh, that sounds like a lot to manage.
Yeah, it is. And like because I edit all my own videos. My experience is coming from like a rock group making like quick cut music videos. So like the first music video I did is like chaotic. Like the song is kind of chaotic, so the video is really chaotic, quick cuts and wild, and we're running around the library, and it's like it is very fast paced, and I'm proud of it. But like I also bring my kids to that same library, and they're just like, sweet, we can run around because we saw you do it in the music video, and I'm like,
well, that's on me. That's on me.
So yeah, that's on me. So I'm constantly learning as I go for like what I do want to put out in the video space. And then like as a kids musician, like we still have to make content to promote it. So like,
you do. Yeah.
Who is it for? Is it for the kids? Is it for the grown-ups?
Yeah.
You constantly have to think about who is it for? What is it meant to do? Is it good, and is it good for the world? When I was a rock musician, it's like, these are emotions I felt, and I wrote a song about it, and it was cathartic for me.
Yeah.
And if people connect to it, that's great. But now when I'm writing a song, it's like, well, this is a movement song. It's stop and go, and the objectives here are gross motor during this section and fine motor during this section, and we're doing social emotional at this part, and blah blah blah. So like there's really clear objectives when I'm writing songs versus like, I'm sad.
I mean, but so you're telling me that whenever you were an indie rock musician, you didn't chart out your songs based on emotional health and development for 20-year-olds? That wasn't your, like, where's your brain development now? Isn't what your, like, ethos was of your entire band for some reason?
Yeah, we weren't really doing social emotional development with my rock band, you know?
No. Is there one that does? I don't know. I think I went to like a punk rock show out here in Denver like a month ago or so, and like the lead singer was like, this song's about anxiety. And in my head, I was like, no one, whenever I was growing up, admitted a song was about anxiety. You just wrote about, like, no one said that. That wasn't a thing. These kids are going to be so much more emotionally developed than I ever will be. This is great.
It's true. It is great that there's a huge movement of people that are saying the things out loud and identifying and being okay with and owning it. So I love it. I think the kids are onto something with that.
I do too. That's also really the children, the youth. That's also really cool to know, like, the intentionality of your music, to be like, okay, I want to focus on social emotional. I want to focus on, because like I like Justin Roberts a lot, and I feel like he does like really great storytelling with all of his stuff of like point of view from a child, from the parent, and like all of that. It's very sweet and very intentional. But like most of the time, whenever I hear other types of kids songs, it's like, now we're going to jump to the right, jump to the left, now dance. And I'm like, okay, this is a very basic song, but I don't think of it in my head of like, hey, what are they actually practicing? What are they learning by doing this? I'm just like, my kids are having fun dancing, and that's good. So I'm going to focus on that instead.
Right. I think when Justin Roberts was one of those artists that I found when I was first starting out, where I was like, this
Yeah.
is what I want to, this is the lane that I want to be in, because he's so thoughtful
Hmm.
and intentional and like really, like he's so clever. He's like Beatles clever. Like
Hmm.
he's read, I assume, and I'm friends with him and went to his house. So like I know Justin, great guy, but like he's so intentional with his songwriting that he wants it to be good for kids and grown-ups. It's like
Yeah.
that's the lane that I wanted to be a part of. I'm like, this guy
Yeah.
knows his stuff in songwriting and playing and structure and
Yeah.
child development and all of it. So
Yeah.
huge fan. My daughter's second birthday, or maybe I think it was her second birthday, was unicorn themed. So we used his unicorn song just over and over again.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people like I feel like he's like if the Mountain Goats did like a children's like album or something like that, because it's very like I feel like he has a wide range. He's got very intentional lyrics, and they both have nasally singing voices. So I just always think of the Mountain
Yeah,
Goats whenever I listen to him, and that's a compliment in my book.
totally. And and I think with half or 75% of my stuff, I think if you if you were not told explicitly it was kids music,
Hmm.
you would either like it for what it was or be like, no, I'm not a fan of this, you know? But
Yeah.
like with Justin, I feel like 95% of his music, if you were not explicitly told this was a kid's music album, you'd be like, this is just great music, you know, which I think is a testament to his ability to speak to both grown-ups and kids. And that's something that's a page that
Yeah.
that I read off of his music and many other artists like.
Yep. I think it's been one of the coolest things about doing this podcast is being more connected with people who do children's music and just finding how much depth there is. Because in my mind, there's always like, all right, I got to listen to a lot of Disney music, which honestly are mostly scored by people who write musicals. So like that's not a bad thing. But like to realize the amount of depth and how much I can relate to the fatherhood experience through children's music is something I did not realize until like 2 years ago, honestly.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I guess when I first started listening, it was like, all right, we got all the soundtracks and all the Disney, and it's like, this is great, but like, are they parents? Are they just
Yeah.
doing their magical Disney filter on something?
Hmm.
Which they are, but also it's amazing. There's
Yeah.
so much good Disney music. It's
There is.
incredible. But yeah, I love that you seek out human experiences by dads that are making
Yeah.
kids music, you know?
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much. So if your son is about to be 10, he's about to be 10. He's not 10 yet, right?
It's about to be 10, yeah, in 1 month.
Okay. How are you feeling about having a son or a kid who's been around for a decade? Have you processed that at all of how, because my daughter turned 10 this year and I'm still like, I've been a dad for 10 years. 2, you've been alive. Like we've kept you alive for 10 years. This is what? What is this?
Yeah, well, I guess I knew I was going to be a dad for 10 years because, but yeah, I have not processed him being 10 years old. It's wild. We went to, right before this taping, I went to taping. I still say taping.
I actually
Yeah,
record this
we're
tape. I've got a tape reel back there.
Oh, thank you.
It's got a
Yeah,
2-inch.
you got
That's what we're recording.
And then everyone that listens to it has to put it on a VHS or a floppy
do.
disk. I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
3 people listen to this. Yes, go ahead.
So before the taping today, I was at my son's fine arts show. His school put on a fine arts show. So we went there and we're looking at all this elementary school art. And I find my son's and he's super proud and we're looking at it and I'm like telling him all the things I like about it. And it's just like, he was so proud and so excited. And then we just started looking at the 4th graders, the 5th graders, the 6th graders, we started looking and it was just some of the art is like really deep.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even believe how deep some of the art is. So in those 10, 11, 12 years, they have really, really learned to express themselves via art. It's just, it's unbelievable. So that's fresh on my mind 10 years, I don't even know. I mean, in the 10 years that he's been alive, I think I've done like a total 180 with my life personally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I see the work and I see the numbers on like my days go up.
Mm-hmm.
So and if I'm viewing it through the lens of me, it's like I've grown so much alongside him and kind of, like we don't have the manual on how to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we could read what to expect, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I'm learning how to do it along. So maybe it'll be better with the other kids.
Yeah. But really, that's why you have two more, or you have one or two more. So you can be like, okay, didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I more confidently don't know what I'm doing with the other two.
Yeah. And I can say that because I'm the oldest of 5. So like I was the guinea pig. I got all the BS. And then it was like by the time they got to the last 2, it was smooth sailing.
Yeah. You are being more the parent. In those scenarios, I feel like if it's the oldest of 5, it's like I was more your mom and dad towards the end there because your parents were so checked out in a lot of those scenarios. You don't have to comment on that. No, you don't hear. I was going to ask you, I was going to ask you for your timeline and everything. Did you have your oldest while you were still on the road and then like a little bit of that? Then were you like, hey, I need to get off the road. I need a career change. Is that kind of how your timeline worked out?
Pretty much. Yeah. So he was born very recent. We were still touring. We were signed to a booking agency and we were going out on like 4 to 6 week tours. Like our biggest one was a 6-week tour. It was like 45 shows. It was wild.
Damn. Yeah.
And then we did some other tours. We were working on our next record. And then he came along and we did some work on the record. And then, right before he turned a year old, I decided to get sober.
Cool.
I was like, I gotta change. I hit my version of rock bottom and I'm like, something has to change. I've got to change because this is not the dad that I'm not the dad that I've always wanted to be because I've always wanted to be a dad. Now he's here and I'm messing up. I'm not who I can be for him. So I'm like, I got to quit drinking. And I did. And I haven't gone back. So
Congrats.
It's been almost 9. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It'll be actually in a little over a month. It'll be 9 years of sobriety.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But so when I got sober, I mean, my whole life was designed to be in a bar, Devin. Like my band was on tour where we play clubs and bars. I came home. I was a sound engineer. Where was I at? Clubs and bars. My band would play. I would play out solo acoustic. I would do all these, gigs at home. Where were they at? Clubs and bars. So I was always at clubs and bars. I just had to get out. I had to do something else. So the transition into preschool teaching was so random, honestly. I decided I needed a career change. I was freshly sober. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to do something. Like, what am I good at? Music. Okay, well, what am I going to do? Like teach, blah, blah, blah. And then my friend, she posted some stories on her social media of her classroom and all the cool activities and the kids and things going on. And I was like, wow, that looks so fun. And she's like, do you really think so? And I'm like, that looks like a blast. I would love to do that. And she's like, well, you should apply. And I'm like, I have no credentials. Like I'm a dad and I'm the oldest of 5 and the oldest of like 20 cousins. So like I've always been around kids, like and entertain kids. And like, but like, I don't have any credentials. She's like, just apply, come talk to them, see what happens. And they offered me a job and I took it. And there was like a 3-month waiting period from when I got the job to like when I started. So I really like honed in on learning early childhood stuff and got credentialed and everything. And it really just changed my life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the first like year I was there, I didn't even play music for the kids other than like the music we sang in the classroom because I really just wanted to focus on learning how to be a good preschool teacher and learning about what it takes to do that.
Yeah. And also like, you can manage a crowd. Like managing a crowd of people with an instrument is one thing. I've played guitar in my son's pre-K before. And sitting there in front of like 10 to 12 kids as they're kind of just staring at you in awe. And you're like, oh, I could literally just strum nothing. I could strum open for 5 minutes and all of you would do this. It's just a different it's a different performance. It's a different connection. Everything about it is drastically different and really cool. But also like, I'm like, the forward isn't going to come up to me like, actually your word choice on the second verse didn't connect with me. You know, that's not a conversation you're going to have.
Yeah. Yeah, then and that's one of the things I like to say, because what my rock band, we got into like kind of the prog metal scene.
Mm-hmm.
So when like I think on our last couple tours there was a lot of this.
But yeah, in the back,
People
yeah.
people just, I mean, we would
Uh,
play in odd time signatures, so
yeah.
they'd be like trying to find the one and like this.
Yeah.
But with kids, I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
so like that's why the song that you were talking about that was like jump to the left, jump to the right, like that is like a classroom banger for that age group. You could play that in a classroom for 40 minutes. And if they had the energy, they would follow you the whole time in that classroom. So it's just a matter of where their brains are. Like if
Yeah, it
they
is.
if they could barely jump to the right, but they love trying to do it, they're gonna try and try and try.
Yep. And the simplicity of it is so beautiful and like so lost as you get older. Cause like, yeah, in my
Mhm.
head, I'm like, well, I don't want to just know like that I should jump to left. I want to have an inward experience of what my leg feels like as I jump. You know, like I'm looking for all this depth. And my 4-year-old is just like, oh, the floor's lava. Hell yeah, I got to jump. I got to get out of here. I'm about to drown in lava. Get me out of here. So it
Yeah.
is such a different mental shift to be like, no, this is enough for them, as opposed to my own personal artistic needs, which are very needy and should not be put on anyone else.
So my artistic needs are also needy. So it's constantly a battle in my brain when I'm
Yes.
songwriting for the kids, because it's
Yeah.
like, because my thing is like in the vein of Justin Roberts. Like
Yeah.
I know that like I love listening to him as a parent and as a songwriter. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And my kids love listening to him because it's stories and it's fun. So like when I'm making music, I need to try to get that middle ground of, I want parents like my age to be like, hey, this sounds like stuff that I listened to
Mm-hmm.
when I was in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
And the kid to be like, this is really fun. And I've never heard this in kids' music. So like I try to marry those together as best as I can to hook the grown up and help develop and hook the kid, you know? So it's a fine line
Yeah.
between what my artistic brain is
Mm-hmm.
is happy with, and like what I believe these kids need. So
Yeah.
I kind of have to like pick a lane sometimes when I'm in a song. It's like, do I want this line to be silly, fun, or clever?
Mm-hmm.
Or easy? Which road
Yeah.
do I take? I'm constantly at that fork.
Yeah. Yep. And then in my head, I'd be like, but I can layer strings on top of this, can I? Like this song could use a cello and a 4-string quartet, right?
I do that. Oh, I definitely do that. On this album, Devin, it's so crazy. And I don't know why I'm doing this, but like I have a full marching band on a track.
Were you listening to that
And
OK Go or something? What were you doing?
very similar, very
Yeah.
similar to that
Yep.
tune. And then I do have a full string quartet, honestly, on 2 songs on the new album. So like you said it as a joke, but I'm like, swear
I
I'm
get it.
doing that.
I totally get it. I totally get it. Well, because I listen to like I listen to like the National a lot, and it's like, oh, when you add strings to this song, it's beautiful and adds depth and layers, and like it's fantastic. And like I mean, like I make my kids listen to vinyl and listen to music with headphones on because I want them to understand like a sonic landscape is a beautiful thing to get lost
And that's the thing, like, even though it's like, okay, kids' music is simple. We
in.
can say
Yeah,
that
yeah,
some kids' music is simple, but like the complexity within that simplicity is what makes it super beautiful. So like that's why kids' music works so hard to make their stuff like cleverly and like cleverly complex. This is
yeah,
a kid's song, but there's a crazy synth part there that's
yeah.
played on like a real Moog,
Yep.
like in a real studio. Like we did that
Yeah.
because we want it to sound good. So like I have not taken any shortcuts with sound on my albums. I think that it's like, as a producer, as somebody who produces my own self, I'm
Yeah.
like take away the kids music aspect, like I'm super proud of the production. Like I think the
Yeah.
sound is great, so I'm super proud of that. I don't think that there was any like corners cut. So i think I think that this new record, I think, will showcase some of those. And kids are going to learn to like it. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's string quartet. Let's go to the orchestra. Great. Get them to the orchestra. Like, they need this various things. Like, people were like, Mr. Jeff does rock kids music. I'm like, yeah, I do that. But I also do this, and I also do that, and I also do more. So that's something I'm trying to showcase on this next record.
And also, we no longer live in a world where like genres matter as much. Cause like I grew up listening to like the Get Up Kids a lot, which is, pop punk, emo, whatever. And then their lead singer did like a solo acoustic album as the New Amsterdams. And it was like, how dare he do that? And it's like, he's just writing Americana tunes. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But like in the early 2000s, it was like, you're not allowed to do this. And now it's just kind of like, I don't know, where you listen to a lot of country music. Like, that's cool. Like, there's beauty to be found here. So let's go find that instead of assuming if you don't sound the way I need you to sound, this album's trash.
Yeah. I really do like that people are more open-minded now, because especially in and I don't really want to get into like super AI stuff, but like, when in a world of AI, it's like, you'll take anything human, like, especially when people I like respect as artists. There's a lot of artists that I love that I'll follow them into wherever they go, whatever direction they go, I'm here for it. So even if I don't necessarily like it, or if it's not my total cup of tea, I'm going to follow them and be like, I love you as an artist. I'm coming with you.
Yep.
So, like, I love that fanatic in me. Like, and I assume that's with you too, or it's like, I love these artists. I'm going to go with you.
Yep. The best example I'll give you is Age of Odds by Sufjan Stevens, in which he goes from writing very delicate acoustic indie folk pop music to this very claustrophobic, like cinematic feeling album that's like a lot of synth, a lot of like everything. And whenever an artist does that type of turn, hopefully what I normally do is just be like, oh, what'd they go through? Because clearly they went through something if like this is what they wrote. And for that one, he like had a nervous system disorder. He forgot how to write music. So he had to change everything about his writing process to do it. Now, whenever I listen to it with that in mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, you had to overcome so much to write this album. As opposed to just being like, what's this synth part doing here? You don't play synth. You're Sufjan Stevens. Yeah.
I liked that record because it was the double album, right?
That one was, I don't know if it was double or not. It is just, the last song is 26 minutes long. So it has like 4 movements to it. So no, it is a journey, and it is fantastic, but it is like synthy, weird. There's a lot of like string part. It feels very claustrophobic, which I always assumed was intentional because he felt claustrophobic in his own body. And he like mirrored that with like string parts and like all this stuff. And that album with headphones is a fantastic journey.
I'm going to listen to it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love Illinois, and I love Sufjan. So
yeah. I'm going to start wrapping up the episode. So how I end every episode is ask every guest a series of 5 questions. It's not rapid fire, so you don't have to, you're good. If you have to take time to think about it. So first question is, did you have any backup names for your kids? Like, did you have anything that you almost named them?
Yes and no. So all 3 of my kids, the first name that we picked or liked is the one that we named them. So
cool.
It's like we got them right away, and then we're like, wait a minute, this is too soon. So we like got the books and we thought about it, and we're like, okay, here's a couple of backups. But we always went back. There was never any change for any of my kids' names. So what about you?
Okay, so our kids,
I'm turning it back to you.
You're good. We did plant names for all of them. So our first kid is Holly. We thought about naming her, I think, Harper, but we went with Holly instead. She's also a like February birthday, so very wintry. And then our second kid, we named Magnolia, which we thought Juniper also for a name for her. But we had other friends who named. Yeah, we had Juniper was kind of on the rise. And, the elitist in me was like, we can't be like all these other people. And then so we had a plant theme going. And then for the third one, when we had a son, like there aren't a lot of plants that are masculine sounding. So it was like, do we do sage? So we went with Josh for Joshua. So, and we didn't really have any backup names for him. Joshua Tree. Yep. And we didn't really have any like backup names for him because like it would have been like Ash or Asher or something like that. All names that were like, I already have not common first name that's misspelled and mispronounced constantly. So I wasn't really looking for the more quirky, like, first name. So I wanted something that was easier to spell. And whenever we stumbled upon Josh, we're also massive Josh Ritter fans. So that also was a big play into it also. So yeah, Harper and Juniper. I always wanted to do Marigold and call her Mary for short, but Meri. I thought would have been an adorable plant girl name.
Totally. Yeah, Marigold was definitely on our short list.
Yeah.
And Sage was on our short list. But yeah, we have Silas, Juniper, and Jonah. So
Yeah.
Silas gets the S name.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of us are J names. My wife is Jillian.
Okay.
I'm Jeff, Junie, and Jonah. So there's just all these J's, which my aunt and uncle did with my cousins. And I was like, wow, that's so weird that they did all J names. And then here I am. And now I have all J names.
You gotta break the family history. You got to put a stop to it at some point in time for some of these habits. It just makes your stock. Whenever you go to like buy Christmas stuff and you buy like Christmas stockings, you just do a J and you just order them in bulk. And it's cost efficient and cost saving.
That's really why we named them. It's just cost. It's efficiency, really.
That's it. Totally. For all your monogramming that you do around the house.
So much monogramming during the holiday season.
Yeah.
It's lots. It's more than the average person, probably.
It might be. Next question. Who's your favorite TV or movie dad? You can do first that comes to mind also.
Uncle Phil?
Yeah, that's solid. That's good. Yep.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince?
Yep.
I mean, no BS, but like always heartfelt, always had those aw moments.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Uncle Phil.
Yeah, Uncle Phil's good. And also, like, it's so mean because now, like, socials will do, like, the 30-second clips from shows that made you cry when you watched them in real time. So the scene of Will Smith being abandoned by his dad and Uncle Phil coming to the rescue just randomly appears on your timeline, and you're like, stop it. Not right now.
Yeah.
I'm about to eat lunch. Stop it.
I watch it every time.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And it comes up so much, especially, like, I mean, when we were kids, like, you would see that and then you wouldn't see it again for like 15 years, but like it would stick with you. It's wild.
Yeah. I agree.
Kind of great though.
It is. Next question. Since you do kids music, you live in kid mental space. What's your replacement curse word? Like stub your toe.
I have a bunch of them. Do you want to hear them?
Hit me with a couple of them. Yeah.
The famous one in my house that everyone rolls their eyes at is Kreppen.
Kreppen?
Kreppen. Which
replace
it's like, well, it's a replacement for the F word and crap and anything that happens. I'm like, Kreppen. And that's it. That's the big one.
Are you hoping to be an extra in a Charles Dickens play? Like just in the background? Kreppens. Like, is that? I mean,
Kreppens.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I think maybe because I think it originated from I know exactly where it originated actually. So I played action in the musical West Side Story, and I got to sing G Officer Krupke. And at the end, the tag is G Officer Krupke, Krupp you. So I just kind of adapted it, and that's my replacement. So I still swear, but I swear a little less now.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's so hard. It's so hard not to swear.
I am still interested as my kids get older. What's the age where you just give up the replacement curse word? I feel like it tends to be high school. When all your kids are in at least high school, it seems like that's when parents are like, F it. I know you're saying these words anyway. I'm going to try to not just drop them constantly, but we all know we're all saying these words. So let's remove that mask.
The worst is that, like, my 9-year-old, he is like second or third hand hearing memes. Like he doesn't even know what it means or what it is. He's just like repeating memes. Like, I get, and so he'll just say something where I'll just be like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you think that means? I don't know. It's just something we say at school. And I'm like, no. Like, be real with me. Do you know what that means? Or are you just repeating something dumb that everyone says? And he's like, I'm just repeating something. It's a meme. So it is strange.
Nothing like the joy of being like, okay, so I'm going to say the words back to you that you said to me. Now imagine your principal hears these words and I get a phone call and your principal says these words to me because you said them. Do you think that's a positive situation? or a not so happy situation.
There it is.
There it is. And that's the probably
All right.
overly condescending tone that I use with my kids. It's like, okay, let's play this out. Let's see how this turns out, guys.
And I, as a parent of also younger kids, I'm just like, listen, like you could say this when it's just you and I, like,
Yeah.
but you cannot say this around your siblings.
Nope.
Because you're gonna go to school, and then I'm gonna have them here, and they're gonna say it verbatim, like forever, over and over. So please don't do that.
Please don't do that. Please don't let the rest of my day be me being like, haha, I laughed accidentally the first time because I was in shock and my stress response was to laugh. Now, please stop. I did not mean it as positive reinforcement. We have to do something else.
That's exactly it. Yes. Come on. Just
please stop it. Please stop it. Next question is, what's like one of your favorite like toys or activities that you play with your kids?
We've been really into this game called Zingo lately.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you? So
No.
it's basically bingo.
Okay.
But instead of just letters, it's a picture and the word of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so anyone can play. Like my 2-year-old can play it when he sees a hot dog. So the thing is, you have to be quick.
Yeah.
So you spit it out.
Cool.
It shows 2 pictures if you have it on your card. So we're huge fans of game night.
Yes.
And there's a lot of games for, my oldest and my middle, but for the youngest one, like Zingo is the best.
That's awesome.
Because he can actually play with us. And it's not like we're letting him win all the time. You got to let him win, but like it's also fun for everyone else.
Yes. We found that our library lets you rent board games for like 2 weeks at a time. And that has been fantastic because similar of like, the game my 10-year-old and 8-year-old are old enough to play, the 4-year-old isn't, so like to find, and I don't want to go drop $40 to $50 on board games that only one kid likes because that is not fun to me. Then you're the dad at the table being like, we're going to play Zingo again and you're going to like it. It's not a good scenario.
It's $40.
We have to play it at least 4 times. That's $10 a play. Then I'll give it back. Okay. But dude, finding that gap, even like us having 2 girls and then a boy, like what the girls want to watch is like a show at the end of the day versus my son, drastically different. My 2 oldest just watched Project Runway Junior, and my son was like, I'm so bored. There's no cars, like the entire time.
That's awesome.
Yep. But he did enjoy it. He will not admit he enjoyed it, but you saw him watching that and, getting some great fashion ideas.
Okay. It is funny, the reluctant watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you'll hear him like quote it later.
Yeah.
He'll talk about it.
I'll talk about it. I know what's up. And then last question for you. What's like go-to parenting advice? Like if you know someone is about to be a dad, something like that, what would you tell them about like their upcoming journey?
I think everyone's go-to is like, enjoy it. It goes by so fast, but like, I think mine would be like, try to, even when you're in the thick of it and you're overwhelmed, like do your best to not show it.
Yeah.
Because I think some of my worst moments were when I showed my overwhelm, showed me being overwhelmed. So just figure out how to get past that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Self-help.
Yep. Or the thing I've had some friends, or what I think is helpful, is if you can know how to lean on your partner before you get to that point. If you can be like, hey, I know I'm about to explode. I know if I have to do one more simple task today for a 2-year-old, I'm gonna lose it. And I just need to I need to go on like a 10-minute walk. And if you can do that before you get to the point of like, no, at your kid, that's better. It's avoiding the moment where you get angry at your kids for them being a child.
Totally. 100%. Yep. There it is. That's really great advice.
I'm with you. It's hard to learn though, man. And it takes a while because there is still like, when you run into that moment, you are like, no, I should be able to do this. I should be able to figure this out. I should still be chill and okay with stuff. And it's like, no, you're overstimulated. You've probably been going for hours and like you're mentally somewhere else. So like, it's okay, but just tap out, lean on your partner, lean on family, whatever, and get out for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great advice. It's definitely something to live by and work towards.
It's real hard. Easier said than done.
Yeah. There was one of the questions that you didn't answer.
Yeah. Which one?
Which one did you not answer?
Did I answer any of them? Listen, which one do you want me to answer?
Not other than board games. What about the toy? The favorite toy?
Magnetiles. We do a lot of Magnetiles. It's pretty easy. My youngest has started getting into, we bought like a pack of Nerf guns Santa got a pack of Nerf guns for Christmas. And then we have found that like the creativity with it, because like I don't want them to shoot each other or come anywhere close to shooting each other with the guns, but it is still fun and all the kids in the neighborhood have them and stuff. So I've started building towers with Magnetiles and trying to teach them like, okay, if you shoot it here, watch how differently it falls, and trying to teach them like physics along with like aiming and focus all at the same time is how I justify playing with Nerf guns as a 38-year-old man.
Love that. That's something that like in our house, we're like, no guns at all, no blasters, no blah, blah, blah. But like, I loved Nerf guns.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're super fun. Yeah.
I might have to have a conversation.
Okay. And then last thing for you is just moment for self-promotion. So like, how do we find your music? Do you know when your new album is coming out? All that good stuff.
Find me at Mr. Jeff is Fun everywhere, mrjeffisfun.com. I have 3 original albums anywhere you stream music, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, etc. I have a YouTube channel. Check it out. Search Mr. Jeff is Fun. New album should be out I'm aiming for June or July. I'm so close, but you know how far it is to get that last like 8%. So
yeah, that's a lot. Yes.
We're getting there. Yeah. And Devin, thank you so much for having me. Like,
yeah, of course.
Love what you do. I think it's super, super cool. And I really appreciate you inviting me on.
Yeah. Thank you. I think the whole like ethos and hope of this podcast in general is just like, I know dads care a lot about this world and everything. They just rarely get asked about it. So even like, your belief in like kids music and knowing that like it's possible to entertain kids and adults and make it a connecting thing for everyone is like just cool to explore and cool to give you like an opportunity to talk about it, because it exists and it's out there and there's lots of cool kids music out there. So thanks for being part of it.
Yeah, thank you. There's so much cool kids music out
there.
So it's cool being part of like the Children's Music Network, where there's like a whole group of us that are just like very similar in ethos and very similar in mission. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It took a while to find it,
but you're here now, and that's awesome.
Yes, my friend.
Perfect. Well, hey, go enjoy what's left. It's like 9:10 for you, right?
Yep, it's 9:10.
Yeah, go enjoy the hour before you fall asleep on the couch.
100%. That's exactly what's I'm about to crawl into bed and maybe watch an episode of Shrinking with my wife. That's
nice.
Probably what's gonna happen.
That's a solid next hour for you. Go enjoy that.
Do you like that show?
Yeah, of course. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Do you also, when you play cornhole, scream cornhole whenever you play it now?
Yep. That's a Brian thing.
It's so good. It's so good. No, I love it a lot. I think it's we could, whenever we meet up in person, we'll talk about like male mental health also and watching it evolve over the years. Because I was definitely an introspective teenager who wanted to express emotions, but didn't know where the safe space to do that was, besides listening to a lot of really sad music. So now watching kids do it freely and openly, I'm like, oh, what would life have been? What would life have been like? What would I have not repressed?
Yeah, no, I feel that so hard because I came through punk rock because it was angry and I was mad and sad. So like all that angry, sad music. That's why when I wrote sad songs, they were really sad. And I'm like, I don't even care if people connect to it. This is how I get it out. This is my therapy.
Pretty much. I'm going to go see Bright Eyes is going to play Red Rocks next week or in 2 weeks. And they're going to play Digital Ash and a Digital Urn start to finish. Then Ben Queller's going to come out and play a set. And then they're going to play I'm Wide Awake It's Morning from beginning to end. And I'm going to live all my sad boy dreams in those.
What a sad boy concert. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's sad, but it's cathartic.
It's cathartic and expresses things I don't have words for. So I am appreciative of it. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to see Death Cab in a few weeks. Not as sad, but it's got some sadness going on.
This is very Seattle sad. It's good.
Yeah.
It's solid.
It's Seattle sad. It's totally
Seattle
different.
Sad. It's different, throw in some Modest Mouse and some minus. Get all that late 90s, early 2000s Seattle math rock sadness stuff. I'm all for it.
Totally.
We'll talk Built to Spill next time, okay? Then we'll get into that track, okay?
All right.
All right. Go enjoy Shrinking, and I'll talk to you next time, okay, Jeff?
Take care, Devin. Thank you so
All right,
much.
you too. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Imperfect Dads Podcast. And make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to us. Music, editing, and production is all done by me. Make sure to tune in on Mondays and most Thursdays for new episodes. This podcast is part of the Never a Phase Network. Make sure to go to neveraphasenetwork.com to learn more about them.